Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how I make my resin shaker snails. I'm going to start out with making the bauble that goes in the middle. I have just a clear plastic Christmas ornament is what it really is. I'm going to add my Renfio glitters. I've got some hearts and some unicorns that are going into this. I'm going to shake that up a little bit. I like to add a little bit of extra on these just because I think it looks really cool. So once I get all of my glitter added in, I'm going to shake that down to the bottom and I'm going to add my vegetable glycerin. And I usually go about halfway with that. And then I've got 99% alcohol that I add to that and get it almost to the top. Once all of that is added in, I'm going to cut a small circle out of this plastic paper to go over the top. I didn't used to do this, but somebody gave me this suggestion and I tried it and it worked really well for this. So I've got that circle on there and I'm going to put a little bit of UV resin on that, stick it down on the top and hit it with my UV lamp. Yes, I should have gloves on during this. I don't know why I don't, because I normally do. I just forgot, I guess. So once I have that stuck down to the top, I'm going to go around the edges a little bit and hit that with UV light also, just to make sure that that stays on there really well. Okay, now once that is on there, there's always that little bubble. So I've got a little bit of water and a syringe that I'm just going to poke right through the top and fill the rest of that up with the water. Once it's full, I'm going to wipe that down, get it nice and clean, and then go over that hole with some UV resin. And this bauble will be ready to go. That is the shaker part of the snail. That's what's going to go in it to make it shaker. Okay, so now we've got the mold for the snail. I'm going to add a little bit of resin, just clear resin in there and work that bauble down in there and tilt it on its side because we don't want that clear resin down in the bottom so much as we want it just over the top of the bauble so that we can see that shaker effect in it. And we're going to let that dry. Next day, that is completely dry. I have two different colors of mica powder that I'm going to use. So I'm going to split this out. I'm just going to do a little bit with the purple and I'm going to do a little bit more with the green just because I want more of the green. And then we're going to mix these up really well. Make sure when you're mixing these that you get it all mixed together really well. Otherwise, you're going to get like these dry spots. I call them dry spots. It's basically where the mica powder did not mix in correctly. And you can actually see the flakes of powder and they're not the same color. So I like to make sure I get that completely mixed in all the way. Now I'm just going to layer these colors in and tilt it. On the snail, you really have to make sure you tilt it and get it down into the head part of it so that those antennae have lots of resin in it. Otherwise, you're going to get bubbles and it's not going to work out right. So I got this and I'm just kind of layering it in. And as I layer it in, I'm kind of squishing it around. You can see me doing that. That's just to give it the colors just a little bit of a swirl effect instead of them just being in there layered on top of each other. I want them to be swirled together so it looks more cohesive, if that makes sense. Okay, now we're going to take this out. You see, I'm going to start from the back end of it, that heavier end, and then work my way towards the front so that I don't hurt those antennae when I take it out. And there it is. So you've got all those pretty colors, and when you shake it up, you've got a pretty swirl. And I just think these are so cool to look at. They're fun to play with. Kids love them. I loved them. In the sunlight, they're beautiful. Those colors are all very well blended together. You can see the two colors, but they're not all one color. And there, you don't see the lines because I swirled it a little bit. And then when you shake it up, you can see, it's kind of hard to see on the video, but you can see the hearts and the unicorns kind of floating around in there. The only thing I wish I would have done was maybe make one antenna one color and the other a different color, but whatever. I mean, it's kind of cool that it's purple on the top and goes into the green. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, give me that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. Have a great day.